I just want to also say that when I saw Pavan's quote, the fifth one, it was by Schiff about you got no one to hold him. I think that's Kenny Rogers' name. I don't think
Kenny Rogers sang the song.
He wrote the song.
Don Schultz is the guy who wrote the song.
It's Kenny Rogers. It's Kenny Rogers. Okay, here we go. We got.
I researched that too.
We got Clark October. He's a Smart Start, right? Smart Start. One of the tech around here. So we'll hope. I'm sorry, I thought someone said something.
Yeah,
Clark is
he's in Thrive.
He's in Thrive. Oh, no, that's Smart Start. I went through Smart Start. He's the CEO of Rebroadcast Go, and I'm going to let him tell you more about his business. But I'll just tell you he's also one of the founding these companies for the web application for Chrysler Corporation, and also president of Rudd Industrial Radio Supply Incorporated, which is a janitorial supply. So he's definitely got some business experience. I mean, I think that's always a plus. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Clark.
Well, I've never pitched before, so I'm a little nervous, so please bear with me. But my company is, my name is Clark October, and my company is Regango. Regango.com is a daily deal website that offers savings up to 70% for home products and services. Our target market is women ages 25 to 55, and there's a couple delivery methods that we use to get these coupons to our consumers. One would be daily emails, and the other one, our coupons are browsable directly on our website. Some of the industry problems right now is that it's completely unfocused. Our competitors are focused on lifestyle products, nails, tanning salons. It's not really narrowed down at all. There's actually no easy way to currently buy deals for the home. It's just a jumbled mess out there right now, and customer service is failing at all levels. Customers and merchants aren't happy with the service levels that they're getting, and so we solve those problems in a few different ways. There's no customer engagement through the merchants and our customers, so we solve that as well. One of our solutions is the Regango Planner. I need to tell myself to breathe here. Please bear with me. I'm very sorry. The Regango Planner is actually for our registered users, and they can go out and they can plan deals. They can select what deals they want, whether that's a roof or a kitchen remod, and we actually email them up to 3 months in advance as to when that particular deal is coming out. We also have a business directory that's unlike any other business directory out there, because we have integrated real-time chat, video, and as well as instant messenger. I can't get into the other because I don't have enough time. Our merchant solutions, companies right now can only go out and offer one daily deal at a time. With us, they can offer multiple. We offer multiple campaigns for them. And we also show demographics, where our users are coming from, and exactly how they're buying, so that when yeah, all these demographics are in real time, so that they can do other advertising campaigns and make some money. Right now, the daily deal market is a $3 billion plus market right now, and the home products and services is actually a $300 billion industry as we know it. 22% of all online users, and this is all across the U.S. So 22% of online consumers use daily deal sites. Those are staggering numbers, and we're trying to sandwich ourselves right in the middle of all this. So just to Our business model, we actually take 40% of total coupon transactions, and we actually charge on top of that for going into our directory, a merchant becoming a member of our directory. So that's it.
Normally, they normally go over 2 minutes, but you went under almost 2 minutes. So
You know what? And when I was practicing this, I was over 5. So
okay.
I'm a computer dork. Sorry.
Okay. Questions, anybody?
Sure. So, like, can you, for instance, of like what are home products and services?
Sure. Well, we mostly want to focus on the repairs, usually under $400. We think that's going to be our bread and butter. But as far as anything you can ever imagine from your home, from painting to landscaping to roofing to kitchen remods, whatever, anything you need for your house, we've got it. But we really want to focus on the repair market.
Are you guys up right now and running?
Actually, we have invested from friends and family to the tune of about $10,000. Our prototype is actually going to be out hopefully at the end of the month. We've been talking to merchants, and we've got a lot of traction from merchants. So it's going fairly well right now. But our prototype is very, very simple. We're offering about 4 different coupons, and then we use social, it's social gaming, but it's actually, if you invite three friends, then you unlock about 10 more coupons. So that's how we're going to try and get traction in the very beginning, and we'll see where it goes. Go ahead.
So is it just services, or is it also like products as well? Like if I need to go buy paint, or is it only?
It's products as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you managing the services that have to be bid on? In other words, is it a coupon for a percentage off? Because a lot of jobs in home.
These are only quotable services right now. So when we launch, we're sticking to the small, like I said, the smaller end of things. You know, kitchen remods, roofs. That's dependent on the square footage, et cetera, et cetera. Every home is different, as you know. So it's more like repair. Does that answer your question? Kind of.
A fixed, but like you have prices for like toilets, sinks. I mean, is that, how are you?
That's vendor specific, so we have to work those prices out with the vendors, our merchants.
Yeah, you went through that pretty fast, so.
I know I did.
You know, let's.
I can back up the
No,
sliders.
just to help me out a bit here, let's say I'm a customer. Walk me through that revenue cycle. How do you make money, and what am I getting? What service?
Sure.
Just walk me through that. I want to get in there, I'm a customer.
Okay, sure. So you see a coupon for a lawn cutting service, okay?
Where do I see that?
On my website, rebroadcast.com, or if you're a registered user, that will come to your inbox daily. Okay? So we take 40%. You basically pay us. It's no upfront marketing cost for the merchant. Okay? So you basically pay us, and then we give the merchant back 60% of the total revenue. So
I'm a customer.
correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So so if this lawn cutting job costs you $10, you pay me $10. You get a voucher. Okay? There's a number at the top that you call. You say, I'd like my lawn cut. I was just at Regango, and you'll schedule. Okay?
I mean, man, well, what's the vendor getting in terms of you're actually going to be? This is a value that they're offering, right?
Sure.
So they're already is $6 there? Is that a discount?
We're guaranteeing our merchants customers. We're saying in order for this deal to actually be active, I'm sure you guys have heard of Groupon or Living Social. It's the same business model. So we're saying, hey, we're going to give you 25 customers up front, and that deal doesn't get activated until those deals are paid, until that deal is actually paid. So it's like you're guaranteeing your business customers without them having to do any marketing.
Approximately after you take your cut, what is their total discount? In other words, if they had just gone to a customer for a $10 on job,
Sure.
what would they have charged? I'm assuming it'd be more than $10. That you're attracting the customer for the $10.
Right.
So what's their total discount that they're offering?
It's upwards of 60 to 70% on their end. So it's huge.
But then aren't they getting another 40% cut from you?
Right, I factored that 40%. So it's roughly right around there.
Yeah.
But you know, that's merchant dependent as well, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Two
So
more
services
talks.
like landscaping and painting are geographically based, or are you launching that area?
We're actually launching in the Metro Detroit area, and hopefully we can expand out there.
Yeah,
We're
go ahead.
actually, in our first year, we want to
I'll call you.
expand out in 4 different markets, just in the Michigan area.
So do you know what your customer acquisition costs would be to acquire
That's a good,
email address or whatever?
sure, that's a very good question, and I wish my CFO was here with me. And if you have a business card, I can email you that information.
Just ask when you can start and when is this planning to launch?
Our prototype in the next month.
The next couple months?
In the next month.
How do you market and find users or customers?
Currently, right now, we have over 30,000 email addresses, and those have come from past businesses.
You have what, I'm sorry?
30,000,
Email?
correct, right now.
So you're just gonna start emailing people?
Our current deals,
Right.
okay, and then we've got a huge presence on Facebook and also Twitter. So those are going to be our major sources, and we plan on advertising through there.
Okay.
So you mentioned that there is a specific minimum number of customers that need to buy a specific deal for that deal to kick in, right?
Correct.
So if that deal doesn't kick in, what's in it for you and what's in it for the merchant?
Well, nothing.
Okay.
No money lost, no money gained. And they can try a deal again if they want in the future.
Okay.
Maybe different price points, maybe different, you know.
So you still get your cut?
No. No one gets charged until that deal actually gets aggregated. So
Oh, okay.
Regango doesn't make any money, merchants don't make any money, and customers don't lose money.
You guys want to ask some questions, feel free to go on. So we're gonna- You see 2 minutes early, I gave 2 minutes for more questions.
Right.
Okay. So we got Jerry here from Loving Technologies. Actually, I first met, I don't think I met Jerry, but I met his colleagues at the TEDx Detroit last year. And just the idea of it, I kind of correlated to Sim City, Detroit. But I'll let him tell you a little bit more of what their idea is. So basically, one of the things I just wanted to mention about Jerry is that I guess his vision is that we want to have an online version of Detroit that people can reach through understanding and making things happen in the real world, and very much trying to help out the city at the same time. So give it up to Jerry.
Has anybody here heard of the work that we've done before? Because I know we've kind of kicked around the block, kind of like Detroit, punk rock, internet startup style for like the last couple of years. Good to see something like this. Yeah, we're called Loveland. We started about 2 years ago in the micro real estate business, which is basically we bought a couple of vacant lots at auction, and we gave people a chance to invest in them at $1 per square inch. It's kind of like buying like real/virtual land. A little bit like maybe like Farmville, kind of mixed with real life, mixed with Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know, something. A challenging experience. This is the best we've kind of got our tagline down to. If you want to think about us, what we do with our spaces, it's interactive city mapping and crowdfunding. So it is like SimCity Detroit. It's like putting the city online, and then we want to show stuff, and we got one of your people stuff they can interact with. So like I said, when we started, this was our first investment. This is 3 by 3 feet on the floor of our studio at the Russell Industrial Center, and that represents a $1,000 investment that someone put into the project. And we used that to make our first experience. We would send you a square-inch golden deed and magnifying glass and like a postcard from your property. And then really importantly, this is where the technology eventually goes from, is when you invest, you can log into your microhood, which is essentially an online representation of your tiny little property. So all this colorful quilt, those are all different investments of different sizes. And if this is the website, you can kind of mouse around on top and see who it is that owns it. You can click through and they can say what they want to do with their space. And people tell all sorts of fun stories. Like, this is where I built my robot factory to like rebuild Detroit, like right here. And it corresponds to physical space. You know, so we went through this auction process, and it was basically we were trying to figure out ways to put the city online, and then figure out ways. An initial thought was like, how do you take land that people are not valuing very highly in the marketplace, and then figure out a way to make it something that's positive and exciting and can generate maybe a little value, like think totally differently. So this $500 lot, we bought the first one. We sold 10,000 square inches in about 4 months, and then we did it again with another property slightly bigger. And along the way, we realized we were making this really cool social network for space, like a social network for like geography, and we were building payment systems so you could put money into the property to buy stuff. And then I guess there's this kind of natural realization partway through that there's really no difference between an inch in a house or a city block, or a microhood in a neighborhood except scale. So we started taking like real life information out of the city, real life neighborhood boundaries and land parcels, and just injecting that into our social mapping framework. And we've gone through a number of human variations and fun projects, but the one that we're really focused on right now, I think it's a really important one, and hopefully it's something that showcases the importance of the kind of work that we're doing. It's called Why Don't We Own This? And this is all centered on the Wayne County tax foreclosure auction, which is happening at the end of this month. There's actually a round that happened a couple weeks ago, but in 2 weeks there's going to be 13,000 properties in Detroit for auction starting at a $500 opening bid. And if you try to figure out where these properties are or what's going on with them otherwise, you basically encounter just like a really long PDF list on the county site. And so there's no way to be able to go to your neighborhood and see what's going on, and there's no way to talk about properties and ask questions or anything like that. So we're trying to solve this kind of a problem. What happens here is if you click on the zip, you drill down to an overview. All these green dots represent properties that are up for auction, all categorized by geography. You can zoom in with a list of what's going on by street. And if you click on a property, you go down to an interactive parcel map. It'll give you like total lay of the land, like exactly where the parcel is, what the addresses and parcels are around it, Google Street View. And this is a property for sale for $500 that's like 2 or 3 blocks away from here. I just drilled down. This is the zip code we're in, by the way. I don't know if you'd expect that in 40202, but there's a lot of stuff going on here that's normally invisible. And along with the visual representation, we try to pull as much data as we can from city sources as possible. Some of the stuff's kind of hard to come by. We have friends at Data-Driven Detroit who are friendly sometimes and kind of giving us additional information. And then we've also built it out so you can talk about properties and stuff. You know, if you have a question or an idea for it. You know, every story under the sun basically in an auction like this. Like we've had people who have been living in the houses at our auction. We use this and be like, hey, you know, and then they have a chance to let people know, and that's important in the process. Because sometimes people want to buy stuff to speculate, sometimes they'll say, looks like there's something going on in this neighborhood, maybe we can help out rather than, you know, just try to purchase it. And some interesting comments into this one. We had we've had some serious comments and some really funny ones. The funny one we got the other day, went around one of the auction and somebody commented, they were like, the dude who bought this got lucky, I hit the bottle that night. I guess he got drunk and didn't bid properly, which is pretty interesting. But we also, we've got a little bot army that scours the auction website. The county uses this system called Bid for Assets, which is just kind of like an old school, like, you know, non-visual, very text-based, no like dashboard of what's happening in the auction system. So we've been scouring it and pulling out in real time as things get sold. So at the last auction, properties went up for sale for their last use and back taxes, and properties go up for 3 days at a time. And we're able to show all those things kind of happening in real time. So you can kind of tune into the auction and jump into it and affect it if you want to. This was the leaderboard of who all was buying stuff in the last auction. And you find all sorts of interesting things when you make these land use issues kind of transparent. Like, I just thought this was interesting. I wrote to them, I didn't hear anything back yet, but it looks like the biggest buyer at the auction was the Detroit Land Bank Authority, which is, but the properties they bought seemed kind of weird. It was 11 houses in the way northeast, and for $200,000 you can buy 400 properties at the next auction. So it's just kind of interesting to see, you know, kind of follow the trail of like, so people in neighborhoods buying things, what's their city doing, what's the county doing. And we're also, one last, go ahead. We're partnering with a friend of ours to also give an avenue for people that want to bid at the auction but aren't registered or can't pay the deposit. And also for people that want to crowdfund properties that don't get bid on, we set up a site at landblank.org where you can call us or write to us. And if you want to bid, we'll do like a proxy bid for you and then like quit claim the deed over. Or you can put money into a pool and we'll buy properties that don't get bought and then we'll put them on advertising and try to find like the best neighborhood use for them. So kind of like a new school reimagining of a land bank. And yeah.
So there's questions, go ahead guys. Go.
So that last point where you said that you buy up pools of property and try to find the best use of them, is that what kind of uses, and is it designed to get a return for the people who fund it, or just purely cultural use?
Like minimal markup. So if the properties cost $500, we'll only bid on ones that don't have any other bids either, because the goal isn't to like make anybody pay more, you know what I mean, or like only stuff that's going to get washed back out to sea, so to speak. Of the 13,000 properties that like previous years trends hold, there'll be around 8,000 properties that don't get any bids at all, which means they'll just go back to the county. So this is a way to like begin experimenting with, again, kind of like we approach these things with like a child's mind, I would say. You know, you have an issue that has so much complexity in it, and like the only way you can approach it is just kind of throw it out and like do it over from the start. So it's really just some people with good intentions, you know, gathering a pool to bid on these properties and then advertising them and count them. And then moving forward with the mission of trying to find the most locally beneficial use. And that might mean turning it over to a neighbor afterwards. It might mean turning it over to a community group. It might mean turning it over to a project. If after a while, like looking, that's the best, you know, find the best option. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but how do you determine, like, do you determine what happens to the property, or do the people determine what happens to the property? Like you say, turn it over to the neighbor. Are you the one saying, are we going to give it to them, or is it like a voting thing? Do people email you? How does that work?
I guess, you know, I guess at the end of the day, it's us. You know what I mean? But we try to work like a Ouija board with these things. You know? Do you know what I mean? Like the best that you can. Where it's like you gotta have. We don't just want to put like whatever people vote on it, because people vote for crazy things and like whatever. You know, we just are kind of trusting ourselves and being open enough that hopefully people would give good ideas and then agree that it was a good thing that got done with it. That makes sense? Yeah.
Are you a nonprofit or?
No, we're a for-profit company that acts like a nonprofit sometimes, just because like we're definitely not afraid to approach opportunities that are really important, or feel important, or otherwise being looked over by the market for whatever reason, and mostly through patronage of like crowdfunding ourselves and patronage, and we have a really great angel investor who's just, you know, some support that doesn't, probably not going to let us die out as long as, you know, we see what we're going after. But I guess our hope with it is, you know, I'm like a Silicon Valley refugee. I mean, I've lived in Detroit the last 3 years now, and I've gone through like the regular San Francisco, New York tech startup stuff, and I've had some pretty poor experiences with like Valley VC kings. Just not like creativity destroying kind of stuff, it felt like, where it was like you get put into the system and you get pushed through certain kind of ROI channels or acquisition channels where it's like, you know, we got to groom you so that Facebook buys you as a future, like type thing. So we all kind of threw out that equation, you know, wanted to get to work in Detroit. I mean, it's a city that really needs to be online and is like so very offline right now that it's like we're approaching it like it's a big opportunity, but it's also coming from a place of like doing a good thing and then kind of hopefully having faith that in the future, like, we'll get contracted or we'll be able to expand this to other cities or whatever it is. But so we're
so it's not for profit or definitely not non-profit, and you're not, as long as you have a runway to work with from your investor or from what you bootstrap, you're just going to keep kind of going along for the better of the community and not for.
We're investable in, but we're very picky about our investors on stuff, because I never want to show up to another board meeting again where like, you know, like, guess what?
So you're just yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So how do you make money?
We do client work sometimes, so like any kind of, I didn't focus on the crowdfunding stuff we do, but we also build crowdfunding tools, and we've had some success. Like my friends and I, you know, probably the most famous one we did was we put up the RoboCop statue fundraising that just like went totally crazy. We've also, that's like the least of it. And we've done, in the last 2 years, we've done about $150,000 in crowdfunding for a variety of different kinds of projects. traditionally, you know, socially beneficial projects. We have a patronage model, and you know, again, this is the investors too. So people tend to like what we do, and people like what they do. They tend not to let you die, and that's good for us because we're not trying to buy Ferraris. We're just trying to increase the quality of our work and stay trustworthy too.
Last question, anybody? Sorry.
Are you looking at any low-hanging fruit and helping to fund these things like flipping properties that you find through these systems that other people overlook? And is there a risk that you're looking at with when you do have these properties, if you're looking to move them out to someone else, are you at risk if someone hurts themselves on that property, or are you going to have to pay taxes for that if you're stuck with it?
Internet is risky business. No, I don't know. I mean, we have lots of you know, potentially sustainable, scalable business model ideas, but we're really trying to feel it out because we all feel like, you know, it's like when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you go after little opportunities, but then sometimes like you move into spaces. Do you know what I mean? And this feels like a good space. So like in this space, we're kind of like nibbling, like, you know, some nourishing capital over here, you know, and we find a little more over here. But we have, I would love to talk about more ideas like that. I guess I got to be off stage right now, but thanks guys for listening.
Appreciate that. Okay, our last presenter, Jacob, of the evening with Raptor City. And basically after that, we'll do recording. I want to make sure that.
So is it okay if I do my own 2-minute clicker?
Go ahead. You want go ahead? Go ahead. Yeah, you got a lot of ideas to say about you. Well, anyway, Jacob, he's I get to stand up, you know. Well, anyway, Jacob, he's actually was born and raised in Detroit, so we actually have a real Detroiter here. Apparently went out to, he left Detroit, you said?
Yeah.
And then he came back, so apparently got some, I guess, some real life experience, and then came back to Detroit. So he's going to show us what he has done, what he's going to do.
I'm Robert Jackson. I'm vice president. I actually left too. I did military for 10 years, came back. We've known each other since. So after I came back from the deployment, we hooked up, and that's where we at now.
He didn't share that with me, so I can share that with you. Okay. You ready?
Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Rayford. I'm the founder of rebroadcast. And I want to ask you a question that most of you probably heard before. Where are you from? I'm from Detroit. He told you I'm born and raised here. But what happens when negative media destroys the hope of your city? As you said, I was going away for a couple years for work. I was doing electrical engineering and everything like that, more stuff. But there was people that asked me, when they asked me where I'm from, and I said Detroit. It's a look that I get. You know what I mean? And why is that? Because of negative media. It's destroying the hope. It's destroying communities. It's destroying jobs. And think about our youth. What happens when you go talk to a middle school student and say, like, you know what I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, the first thing that they say, like, I want to leave Detroit. Because there's nothing for me here. There's no opportunity. There's no jobs. And to me, to hear that from a young person, I mean, seeing it from my point of view, seeing it from the inside and outside, that kind of killed my soul. Like, there's so much happening here, but they're just not exposed to it because of this negative media. So, rebroadcast.com is here to provide a solution for that problem. A lot of times we hear about great things that are happening, but it's not pushed out on a grand scale. It's not getting enough exposure. There's not a lot of people that know about it. So our goal with rebroadcast.com is to provide a website, social news site that's going to aggregate all this information from the community. We're not stopping people from using Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. But when you find good news or anything like that, bring it to one place. So we're going to, if anybody wants to know about what's happening in Detroit, they can come to rebroadcast.com, click Detroit, and see all this stuff that the community is talking about. Hey, it's this, it's that. It's this local restaurant. There's this other event going on. It's performances. It's opportunity for jobs, opportunity for youth, things of that nature. And we're really imploring the community to see what's going on and go out and do it. Not just, you know what I mean, just witness stuff or stay on our site and play Farmville or anything like that. But we really want to implore people. We have a mantra that we use. It's called rep it, do it, use it. So I'm going to try to get y'all to say it. Rep it, do it, use it. And basically the rep it part, share that information. You see good news, things that happen in the community, bring it to rebroadcast.com so everybody can see it. So not just your friends on Facebook or people that you follow on Twitter, but everybody. Anybody want to know about Detroit or you yourself? Like I said, we want you to do it. Come on there, find out what's going on, and go out and do it. That's volunteering or attending a local band show, supporting a local restaurant. Use it. Use what? We have a reputation system that's going to be, it's a point system that's you add up by the stuff that you do on our website and offline as well. And these points are going to be redeemable for local products and services. So it's a way for businesses to kind of get back to, you know, saying, hey, I see you doing things in the community, that's great. You know what I mean? And provide a discount for their product or service. That way you're supporting local businesses and stuff like that as well. We did a little chart about our strengths and weaknesses. To there. One of our strengths is that a competitor will be similar to Big or Reddit. Like I said, it's a social news website. But our niche is positive news. We only want to shine light on the positive things that are happening in the community. And and then, like I said, it's really focused on the community and community driven. And one thing that's really going to set us apart as a social network or social news site is that you will never see Dig, you'll never see Facebook out in the community. You'll never see them cleaning up the park down the street from your house. You'll never see them supporting a local band or, you know what I mean, exposing these things and being a part of the grassroots efforts that are happening in our community. We want to be that. Rep Your City, you will see us out about. We have already. We haven't launched yet. We're launching in November. But we've already been heavily networking in the community. Social media events, there. TEDx Detroit, see the shirt on, it's there. Different, cleaning up in the community, supporting local talent, and even speaking to our youth and empowering them by letting them know, hey, there's great stuff happening here. You need to be a part of it. There's things happening, here's how you can. And we also do youth roundtables, which we'll be starting back up in October, that are geared towards letting youth know that they do have a voice. And hear these solutions to the problems from their viewpoint, and getting those in front of people that they, that will be able to let them know what they can do now, and what's being worked on right now, and how you can be impactful in your community. Now, our weaknesses are we don't have funding right now, so that affects acquiring talent. We need developers and a marketing team and stuff like that as well. And lack of startup experience. I did join Startup Weekend in Ann Arbor, so I was part of a startup, so that was great to get that experience, and they did get funded as well.
Can we get two more? We just got two more, just the threats and then the opportunities.
Oh yeah, that's threats. Of course, like that with funding. If we get a lot of people on the site, we have issues with as far as affording that space necessary to handle that. And then, of course, hacking and viruses as well. And then opportunities right here in Detroit. No better place in the world to really prove this concept than right here in Detroit. If we can show how we've impacted bringing back hope again in the city, we can do that in other cities. So our motto is really to build a foundation here in Detroit first, and then duplicate it in other cities. So about 5 different cities we want to reach out to by 2013.
Let's go ahead and start with the questions.
What's the revenue model?
Revenue model, advertising, of course, on the website. We also want to gear towards government funding because there's a budget for tourism and, like, for example, Pieris, Michigan. Those are things that we want to get involved with as far as helping increase the tourism value in different cities. And also as far as working with corporate responsibility, corporate social responsibility that companies have that they want to shine a positive light in their communities.
Sorry. Good. Okay, so the idea is like nice, but as far as user-generated content, right? That's what we're talking about here. How do you filter between negative sentiment, positive sentiment? Is that technology? Are you the ones that are judging what's considered positive?
We'll have a team that will be actually linked together that will actually be on the site, actually monitoring. But at the end of the day, it's on the people. It's on the people. We're giving that power back to you because that's what we promote on a day-to-day basis, positivity. So that's how, if you've ever been on Reddit or if you've ever been on Dig, it's a system of how it works. So if it's positive, you're going to see more about it. It works the same way as Facebook with the like button. So if you see a whole bunch of people repping it, you see a lot of people doing it, that's going to be sponsored. You're going to see that more and more throughout the site. So the people, we're giving the power back to you. We want you to be able to come on there, whether it's you cooking a bake sale on the neighborhood block, or if it's something downtown in the Park Plaza, a major event, it has it's in the same forum, and people will be able to see exactly what's going on.
So is there enough constant flow of content for that?
I can show you 50,000 emails in my email box for that. But we also have another thing that's really going to set us apart is a town hall feature that we're going to have on our site to talk about problems and solutions to those problems. And we have a database as far as getting that together as well.
So, like, I was taking a look at, like, kind of every block. Like local, personalized, kind of interesting, so that just kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Like, how do you see that fitting up?
With Everblock, I signed up for that service too, and the only thing that I get is crime rating. I mean, stuff that's happening in the news. So it's not really, where they haven't picked up as far as, people contributing to the news as far as that site, but they're pulling in from media, which is part of the problem in the first place. So it's mostly negative media in that aspect. But unlike different, like a social network, like you said, we're a social aggregator. So it can be, say if we only got 10 people on the site and they're crazy contributing, the site still has value versus if I have to have 50 of my friends on there in order for it to be effective. Like, so at the end of the day, our site will still be effective just based on 10 crazy, people that are
Care about the city.
Are you gonna build this?
How are we building it?
Yeah.
Right now, we have 2 developers that are in Houston right now, but they're using Java, CSS, things like that. Same, pretty much the same kind of concept as Dig, Redshift.
Yeah. So do you think it's gonna the site's gonna work a lot like Dig? I mean, not like Dig, like Reddit.
Similar. Like I said, the avenue as far as advertising, we're still working that out as far as because Dig and Reddit have 2 different advertising models.
Right. So have you guys looked at using the Reddit open source project to basically jumpstart your development?
No, we're actually crafting that with our developers as far as ourselves. But we're also working with going to be working with another startup out of Michigan as far as badges and challenges.
So assuming that you're going to moderate all the content on the website to make sure that only the positive stuff makes it to the web pages or to be shared, how do you plan to overcome the challenges like scalability and having it real time?
Right now, like I said, the major part is going to be community policed, as far as like same as other networks as well. But there may be, we're talking about possibly doing a delay type of thing, but that's something that we're working out. But also, as far as scalability, we're starting right now in Detroit, and we're going to build a foundation here first, and then go into another city. And the major thing that how we're going to do that is by being involved in those communities, getting the team out there. Say for example, Chicago is next, and we develop a team there to get the grassroots going to promote the news on the site.
Okay, guys. I think guys went over time. You guys move around. So just ask questions. Give it up to. I don't know if you heard the bad news. I just got texted by Oliver that Steve Jobs has passed away. So
really?
Not like a big deal. I mean, we have this, a good person here. Anyway, just want to share that news. Yeah, devastating. Anyways, with things like that, I mean, too bad. On the day that they released the iPhone. I would also want to give Scott an opportunity. Scott really got something to say. He's got actually an application while he's doing that. I want to pull up the voting system up, but we actually came up with this idea because there's so many, we got over 450 members now. We're growing every day. We thought there has to be useful for this group. I mean, there has to be useful for all of networking and using this as a resource. And Scott came up, I mean, we kind of talked about this, but I think Scott is the executor, so I'm going to let him talk about why I'm going to pull up the voting system.
Sure. So, Tan and I were talking at DNewTech October, and just kind of how startups like frequently I'll come in here, others will come in here and make announcements about jobs and things like that. Startups locally are hiring. That's MichiganStartupJobs.com. So we were just kind of talking, and we were like, what if we had a single place to go where any startup in Michigan could come and post positions and just make it super easy. You just sign up. There's a single approval process once you post your first job. Goes into moderation, and after that you can post as many as you want. So it's just kind of a really simple service, just set up, and if you need any more categories or any more cities added, just send me a note. The contact information is right on the page. It's just kind of a site we put together so we can better promote startup opportunities here and kind of show that Detroit does have a lot of things going on. It does have a reason for people here to stay, for people to return.
And I want to just also add on that the idea was basically room from we all talked about what we're looking for with the capital we're raising and the resources we're looking for. This is just another tool that we can use for local startups, especially just focusing on hopefully Michigan. But just take a look at it. We're going to start putting this on our adding jobs of this for our company, but hopefully with all the companies have presented at our DNewTech.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, just the last thing I would add is, again, just kind of showing, the world and the state where real job growth comes from, right? It's not necessarily going to come from larger corporations and entities that are kind of cutting down and scaling down at times. It's going to come from these
feel free to use the site, and it's free, and it's there.
Okay, we're gonna vote right now, you guys. So basically, just vote for your. Remember, I'm gonna run down the companies that were presented. We got we're not including Pavan. We know we already wanted people in the list, on the list, but we're gonna just let the entrepreneurs have an opportunity. And it's really no reward, just just ego. We got Alex and Chase from Fetch Notes. We got Oliver with Clean Ocean Fluids, Clark with Rebroadcast, Jerry with Loveland, and Rep Your City. And we want to put it at 411669. And as you do that, I'm going to pull up the link. And you usually told me the link. I'm going to make sure I got the right links here.
When you do text,
just text to 411669, and then out of the 5, just put in DNT1, DNT2, DNT3, or 4.
Do you have an area code?
411669. I know I got a couple of Nobody. It's just on the website. Yeah, it should actually take you to a website, but I'm really doing injustice for.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah, I think you need more venture capitalists.
You guys are killing me, man. I love it.
Those of you that are interested, next Tuesday, how many people heard Automation Alley? Automation Alley, you look at the website, next Tuesday there will be 5 really distinguished speakers to talk about cloud computing. I'm one of them, Greg Frazier. And I'll give you the details. That's next Tuesday, October the 11th from 8:30 to 12 noon. And just check the Automation Alley website. Oh yeah, it's $30 if you no, it's not free. It's like no more than $40. If you remember, it's $20.
Okay. And I think what about accelerated Michigan? I think that's in November, right? Or is it in October? I think that's November 14th and 15th. And then we also have Michigan Bio out in Grand Rapids. That's coming up in November 2nd. And what the heck? 100% for Clean Michigan?
We'll take it.
So one vote.
Was it one vote? One vote.
What can you do with it?
It's the Libyan model.
You can make apps.
Can we want to do one more time 411669, but put percent in. Put your percent in.
What?
Yeah. Okay, try again, come on. Nobody vote for Oliver.
One for everybody else.
How do you get into the back end?
So what we do is we actually use like the modern browser.
Did it work?
It has a local databases or the browser. So we store information both. And then we have an
All the raise, we got love and 50%.
So it just calls the API with JavaScript. All kinds of stuff.
Look at that.
What package into a native shell?
Thank you. I promise you I
It'll be the same page.
Okay, guys, I think yeah, this is really a close match. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everyone for presenting. Next month, we probably won't have it the first Wednesday of the month. We're going to probably have it during the Global Entrepreneurial Week, which is going to be November 15th. We'll get more news on that, all right? So enjoy the evening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes.